It's a girl thing, though. We have to vent sometimes.
I'm not sure you do. But
No, we really do. Trust me.
I hear you, but I don't know if I believe you.
But vent with a level of privacy. What level of privacy should you maintain in your marriage? Because this is like, we're doing a discipleship group, and I've never done that in my life because I normally teach, I come teach, and then I leave. I don't have to deal with any women drama because I just never had to do that. Well, now we started the discipleship group, and it's so interesting to actually be really involved in these women's lives. But my one thing that I would say is this is not a gossip group. Like, we're not here to, talk. Like, if you're really seriously having a problem with your husband, then, but that's not what this is about. Mm-hmm. So what level of privacy should you keep in a marriage, because we talked about it earlier this morning, the women that hang around with women that are going to give them really bad counsel is bad for a marriage. So and good thing for that marriage she had identified that this isn't healthy. But so we have two biblical boundaries here that seem to be on either side of the issue. One is a reason not to share, which is like don't gossip, don't slander. Okay, so gossip's a real serious concern, and it's so easy for us to do. And a lot of our media and social media involves a lot of gossip, so I feel like we get pulled into it easily. We're like desensitized about it. On the other side, we have a reason to share, which is the need for counselors. I need people to come alongside and be like, here's what you didn't notice about that. Here's what you didn't see. Maybe just give an encouraging word. I remember when random weird story popped into my head. My dad and me, long separation between us. He didn't really raise me, and so there was a point where we had no relationship, and I told a buddy of mine, this was many years ago, this was like in my 20s, and I told him, I don't care if I end up having a relationship with my dad or not, I'm good. And he went, Mike, don't say that. You do care. And I just stopped in my tracks, and I was like, because as far as I could tell, I didn't care. And as I thought about it, I realized, no, this is kind of a defense mechanism because I'm hurt, Mm-hmm. And it was funny how that little moment where I told him how I felt about it, and he gave me this really gentle correction. And he'd had issues like that with his dad, so he knew. And that it helped poise my heart to be ready for a restoration of the relationship later on, which happened and is great now. So I'm grateful for that. And we need people to correct us, right? You're like, man, so my husband, da-da-da-da-da, and someone would be like, wow, you sure think lowly of your husband. Like, it could change your life to have someone tell you that. Right.
And you go, I didn't realize that I was putting that out. I didn't realize that was going on in my heart.
Right.
So this can be really needful. So here's questions you can ask yourself. Am I needing to vent, or am I needing godly wisdom? So am I trying to I just have to vent. Sometimes you have to vent. I'm like, no, stop. Sometimes you don't have to vent. Right? Like, I don't know what that means, because when I let it out, it's not like it got fixed.
It's a girl thing, though. We have to vent sometimes.
I'm not sure you do. But
No, we really do. Trust me.
I hear you, but I don't know if I believe you.
But vent with like somebody that you trust, and not vent to the whole women's Bible study.
That would be a good way to vent, I guess. I'm not sure if the vent. Instead, I think that counsel is different than gossip, because counsel is let me put on display my situation for you so you can help tell me what to do.
Exactly.
Whereas venting is, I want you on my side, at least this is how I perceive it in my head, I want you on my side so you can validate my irritations. And I'm like, this can be scary, because validating my irritations can just stir them up more and solidify them more and make me even more blind to my own issues and visibly focusing on those issues. Mm-hmm. So I would say, do I need a vent or do I need counsel? Is it time to bring in help to confront? This is another time when it's good to bring in someone who's like, we're at a dead end. I need to go beyond the resources of me and him or me and her, because I need help. We're at a dead end here. So maybe that's a time when it's time to confront. You've hit a roadblock there. Are these good counselors, or are they my pep squad?
Right.
Good counselors will tell you things you don't want to hear, and godly people will seek them out. Right? Because godly people see tough advice as a blessing. Ungodly people see tough advice as insulting, right? And is that me? Is that my beard?
Is that my beard?
Sorry, maybe it is. I don't know. So that's important to consider. Good counselors are willing to both support and confront you, and that maybe be a good test. If all they do is confront you, or if all they do is support you, they're bad counselors. You ever have a counselor, the only thing they ever do is tell you what you did wrong? Even if you did something right, like they're like, okay, no, all right, so that was fine, but no, but here's what you blew up. And they can honestly help you more than at least the other side that only supports you, but still, you want people who kind of do both. My wife and I have a rule in our marriage. We don't complain about each other to other people in our family, but we've said that if you need help, you can reach out to a small number of godly people. Like for her, it's her parents. I wouldn't reach out to my parents. It's just because you gotta be real about who your counselors are. I love my parents, don't get me wrong, right? But her parents are like amazing and godly and wise, and I'd go to them too. So I think that they're a fantastic thing. You know, reaching out, finding the right counselors is really good. If it's time to reach out for help, the only advice I give is this: don't feel held back then by protecting their reputation, because what happens is you kill the counseling because you didn't tell them the dirty part. And so here, now that it is time to speak out, don't hold that back. But don't hold it back about you either. The counselors work best when you give them a full visual of the scenario. And me as a counselor, this is the thing, man. When you're like unashamed, I'm just gonna be like, here's what he did, here's what I did, here's what they did. Then the counselor's not like, I judge you. A good counselor's like, oh, now I got something to work with. I can really help now because I see it for what it is. And so, yeah, I think that those would be the things I'd say.
Okay. Yeah, because a lot of people like to just talk to their friends and say things, and I think it does probably more harm than good. So
Yeah.
I like your idea of just,
Well,
yeah.
here's a side effect. If I tell all my friends bad things about my spouse, just the looks they give them
Right.
mean that they can no longer be part of that circle.
Yeah.
Not really. And this happened once when again, I'm sharing stuff. This is kind of family stuff, but I'll share it with you guys because I think it might help. I have a relative who was talking to another relative, their mom, about their marriage, and they would always vent about their spouse, about their husband. And then we would all get together for family gatherings, and I noticed a trend, is that this is when that mom felt like it was their chance to like call out issues in the spouse. Well, you're always, so-and-so is always this and that. And I remember pulling them aside and going, if you want them to have a chance, you got to stop. You're going to make it worse, not better, because you're not here helping. You're the voice of the nitpick and of the disapproval. You're not a counselor right now. And I think that we have to have that awareness of
Right.
when I tell people about my spouse, what does it do to their reputation in that circle? When the time comes to open up, you pick godly counselors and you tell them all the dirt, but you just don't do it as a general rule.
Okay. I like that.